Good afternoon, everyone. I wish to welcome everyone to the November meeting of the Works Committee. Standing committees are held as part of a council meeting process in order for committees to consider reports prepared by council officers and to make recommendation regarding these reports to the monthly council meeting. Councillors delegates on the Works Committee are Mayor Kennedy, Councillor Boland, Chairperson, Councillor Aldgate, Councillor Chandler and Councillor Page. All councillors undertook an oath or affirmation at the beginning of the term of office and declared to undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of the Broken Hill local government area and the city of Broken Hill, and that they will faithfully and impartially carry out their functions, powers, authorities, discretions vested in them under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of their ability and judgment. Live streaming and recording of meetings. The committee meeting is being live streamed via YouTube and recorded and published online via the council's website. For those present in the meeting today, by attending in this public meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The chairperson and/or general manager have the authority to pause the live stream if the comments or debate are considered defamatory or otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Participants are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour or commentary. I'll call for any apologies.
Councillor Chandler.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Any further apologies? Can't be. Can I have a mover for that? Oh, Mayor Kennedy, sorry. Seconder? Councillor Aldgate, sorry, Councillor Page. All those in favour? Declare that carried. Any leave? There's no leave of absence. I call on Mayor Kennedy to deliver the prayer.
Thank you. Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessing upon this council, direct and prosper our deliberations to the advancement and true welfare of the people of the council area, our state and Australia. Amen.
Councillor Page for the acknowledgement of country.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet today, the land of the Willakali people, and pay our respect to their elders, past, present and emerging.
Thank you, Councillor Page. I call on Councillor Aldgate to deliver the acknowledgement of Broken Hill's mining history.
We take time to reflect, remember and honour the over 800 miners that lost their lives and those that were crippled or maimed on the line of load. We thank the brave miners and their wives who were part of the 1919-1920 strike that lasted over 500 days and delivered a 35-hour working week. Mining is our past and our future.
Thank you, Councillor Aldgate. Item 6, minutes for confirmation that the minutes of the Works Committee held Monday, October 17, 2022 be confirmed. Do I have a mover for that? Mayor Kennedy, second to Councillor Page. All those in favour? I declare that carried. Is there any item 7, disclosure of interest? Is there any disclosures of interest? I'll take that as a no. I will go to number 8, reports. Report number 1, Broken Hill City Council report number 246-22, dated November 11th, 2022, Renewable Energy Action Plan Stage 2. Is there a mover for those recommendations?
Move that way.
Thank you, Councillor Aldgate. Seconder, Councillor Page. Would you like to comment on that?
Well,
Councillor Aldgate?
I'd like to ask a question. There's nowhere in the report that I can see, is there any ballpark figure of the overall cost?
I'll pass that through to our acting general manager.
Chief assets.
Oh, chief assets, same thing.
Thank you, Chair, through you to Councillor Aldgate. So this next stage, the financial was approved, or will be approved, sorry, in the quarterly budget or for discussion. And this next step of this action plan is to determine the costs moving forward and what we will be looking at. So as per the recommendations, the budgetary adjustments and impacts will be a part of the quarterly budget review.
Yeah, what I accept that. What I was wondering is, has there been a ballpark figure for the overall project?
Sorry, not for the overall project. So this stage will determine the overall project. So with this stage, it's to find out the specification of the working model and the actual size of the array that's specific to what we can use or what will suit council most. Until we have those specifications, we can't get that ballpark figure at this time.
Could I just in the briefing itself, we're looking at about 100,000 to go to the next stage. That will decide, but the overall cost of the project's probably going to be around 10 million for the array, which we hope to get from subsidies. And because we'll be going with hopefully with the hydro store, there's about 10 million that we won't be spending on batteries, but they're real ballpark figures, and that's what. But for the report itself, they were suggesting the cheap option to go halfway was about 70,000. To do it completely was about around 100,000.
Thank you. Any further comments on item 1? I'll put it to
I'll just
Mayor Kennedy.
briefly look with this, and if we get hydro store and the storage at the hydro store, this will be a real win for the Broken Hill Council, but a real win for the community as well. So the investment of the extra $100,000 to get to the next stage is worth it simply for the potential savings in the future.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Councillor Page.
Yeah, just in regard, this is an issue that could be a huge success for our town or our city. In regard to the, once we produce or have the panels working, my understanding is that we'd have to feed it into somebody's system, and then we get access to so much, because we can't feed it into our own buildings. So I think we need in this report to, where it's viable, to still have panels on our locations, as well as the farm, the solar farm.
Solar farm, solar plant. Thank you, Councillor Page. Mayor Kennedy, was there something
through the chair? Yeah, very good point. What was explained is that council would use a retailer rather than do it themselves, to try and that way they are able to go out to market, and it works out about, if we buy it off ourselves at about 16 cents, we're saving 20 cents a kilowatt, and after about 6 years we've paid it off. But very difficult to do it yourself by what they were saying. So you use a retailer to sell what we use and get sell what we don't use and get back what we produce ourselves.
Thank you. Any further comments? Okay, I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Declare that carried. Report number 2, Broken Hill City Council report number 247-22, dated November the 3rd, 2022. Minutes of the EP O'Neill Memorial Park Redevelopment Project Steering Group meeting held 28th of October 2022. Do we have a mover for that recommendation?
Recommendation as it's written.
Thank you, Councillor Orgay. Seconder for that recommendation? Mayor Kennedy. Would you like to speak on that, Councillor Orgay?
Oh, only to say that it's a great scheme, and you know, if we can get the funding to meet each of the stages, it'll be a windfall for the sporting organisations right throughout the town. There's no doubt about that. The plans that have been presented to the council look superb. And I think most people, well, Mayor Kennedy's involved with soccer. He's probably got a far better idea than I have. I just had one question. I noticed that one of the committees that I'm on, the Norm Fox Oval Committee, there's a suggestion that the oval is going to be built up 1.5 meters on the laneway side. To do that, is there going to be a retaining wall to hold that soil back, or is it just going to be a mound? Yeah, I was going to say a mound. Yeah, right. But I think generally you'd be hard pressed to criticise anything that's in the report. That's the way I felt about reading it, and more than happy to move it.
Thank you, Councillor Allgate. Any further comment on the report number 2?
I'll just brief.
Kennedy.
Look, it is an exciting project. Being involved in most of the supports that it will benefit. Netball, for example's really, really excited. They're the first cab off the rank. They're the ones that will see the things, but I'm sure our manager of infrastructure can let you know that cricket's pretty excited, and so is soccer, rugby, everyone is.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Any further comments? That being said, I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour, I declare that carried. Okay, report number 2, Broken Hill City Council report number 248-22, dated October 31st, 2022. Minutes of the Picton Oval Sports Ground Community Committee meeting held 12th of September 2022 and the 17th of October 2022. Do I have a mover for that recommendation? Mayor Kennedy, seconder. Would you like to speak on that report, Mayor Kennedy? Any further, anybody else would like to further respond to that report? I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried. Okay, we move to report number 4, Broken Hill City Council report number 249-22, dated November 3rd, 2022. Minutes of the Gateway Signage Advisory Group Project Steering Group meeting held 20th of October 2022. Do I have a mover for that recommendation? Councillor Page, seconder. Councillor Allgate. Councillor Page, would you like to speak on that?
Only to say that I think it's progressed and very, very well, and everyone's looking forward to the first one going up. I think they'll be so proud that it is happening, and I could say a lot more, but I'll just keep it positive that it's fantastic. Once it goes up, and it'll tell a story, and I'm sure everyone that sees it will be very happy that that it has came about, or about to come about.
Thank you, Councillor Page. Councillor Allgate.
Just make a comment. I agree with what Councillor Page says entirely. And I was pleased to see that in the report, in the body of the report, they're looking at locations, new locations when they're replacing, say, the Adelaide sign or whatever sign, not necessarily going to relocate in the same position. And the suggestion that there be some open space, if it's possible, for people to stop and park and take photographs, I think is very important. I'm sure everybody has seen the number of people that stop and take photographs of the Silverton sign. That sort of situation is ideal. And whilst we can't have all our signs facing the back facing the sun, the afternoon sun, but I think we can certainly find better positions given the right sort of authority approval. I was pleased about that.
Thank you, Councillor Allgate. Mayor Kennedy.
Thank you, Councillor Boland. Yes, so I think it's in the minutes, the site that's been chosen first is the Wentworth Road because it's actually in an ideal location already. It's an open space with that put elevated off the ground, it will look really good. We'll be able to use the existing slab. There's been some conversations that the slab itself can be extended and the pylons added to, so there'll be no need for additional costs. That first one needs to be done really quickly so that the community can see what they will look like. When it comes to moving the other signs, as was discussed at the project committee, there is a lot of work to be done. If you're going to move the signs from any of their current locations, you have to go virtually back to scratch, talk to the RMS and other areas. So this is why it's been chosen on the Wentworth Road opposed to any others, is because that is already in the ideal spot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Yes, I agree with all the comments, and I think we only have to look at the Silverton one, as Councillor Allgate mentioned, and the other one that comes to mind is the Tiffaborough one. There's always pictures on social media of those signs, and as Councillor Allgate said, always people taking pictures of them and tagging Broken Hill in them and stuff like that. So it can only be a good thing going forward. There's no further comments. I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried. Move to report number 5, Broken Hill City Council report number 250-22, dated November the 3rd, 2022. Minutes of the Project Consultative Group Project Steering Group meeting held 29th of September 2022. Do I have a mover for those recommendations? Mayor Kennedy, seconder. Would you like to speak to that, Mayor Kennedy?
Yes, look, as this committee becomes better at what we do, it really will help council in saving monies and delivering projects. I don't want to put the manager of infrastructure on the spot, but just through the chair, it has helped in just a few small areas, if you don't mind just saying.
Through the chair to you, Mayor Kennedy. Yes, the inaugural meeting that was just held was very handy. It was more of an introductory meeting going through a couple of the projects that council are currently planning for, being the library and archives, the banner poles and CBD redevelopment. But just through the discussions and the people involved, there was some areas highlighted from knowledge from a few of those committee members that's assisted in some investigations that council were carrying out, some around some water egress that we couldn't find, and then after this meeting we've been able to solve that issue. So from the first meeting to have that outcome was a great success, but the conversations held through the meeting and going forward will be highly beneficial to council.
Thank you for that. Is there any further comments? There's no further comments. I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried. Now I've come to item number 9, but I believe on the computer I had another report. Is that correct, or has that been deleted? Must have been an error. That's just to make sure I'm reading my notes before the meeting, I think. So number 9, item 9, no confidential matters. There's nil. And that, as there's no further business, I declare the Works Committee meeting closed at, I can't see that, 5 something. No, 5:50. Thank you.